So some news has dropped about the CrowdStrike Falcon sensor and what actually happened. Now I wasn't sure whether this was a red team thing or a blue team thing or a purple team thing, so I just have the light strobing on different colors because I'm not actually sure what this falls under. System administration, maybe. But they've got the preliminary post-incident review out. Basically, their investigation as to what the hell happened. So, first and foremost, it wasn't a hack. I know there was a lot of speculation going around that, oh, they've been hacked and it's a supply chain attack. Um, that would have been devastating if that was the case, but it doesn't seem to be. The TLDR of this is that there was an issue with one of their content validators that meant the bug slipped under the net. It wasn't a code change. Okay, so this is the article they've got. I'll link it in the description. You can have a flick through and see. So it wasn't a code change to the actual sensor itself that caused the issue. And there's a couple of different components of the Falcon sensor that they explained in here if anyone's not 100% sure. But at a very high level, you've got the sensor content. Now, the sensor content contains sort of the core functionality of the sensor, like machine learning models. They've got it on here, like on sensor AI, things like that. What is the buzzwords they use? Comprise code written expressly to deliver long-term reuse capabilities of CrowdStrike's threat detection engineers. There you go. You can do whatever you want with that information. But it wasn't actually an issue with the sensor content itself. It was an issue with the rapid response content. So CrowdStrike's seen a new vulnerability or a new attack method that attackers are using out in the wild, and a novel attack path, and they released a rapid response content update to basically gather telemetry, gather information, and help detect this new technique. Because it basically the bug slipped under the net whenever the content update tried to update the channel file, which I believe they call out down here somewhere. Let me find that. Yeah, here it is here. So the content interpreter in the sensor reads the channel file and interprets the rapid response content, enabling the sensor detection engine to observe, detect, or prevent malicious activity. So they basically pushed a new config file to it to try and enable the sensors to pick up this activity, because the sensors are only as good as the attacks that they know how to look for. So if you don't keep that updated, then they don't see anything. So this is a normal like business update. What actually happened? So they did say that this was the sensor content release was done on February 28th. It was stress tested on March 5th. And passed all of that testing. So what actually happened, they said on July 9th, 2 additional IPC templates were deployed due to a bug in the content validator, so their software validation. One of the 2 templates instances passed validation despite containing problematic content data. So this got sent out. The devices that were affected at the time, actually I'll circle back to that because it was very specific, or it was a specific time window. And any of those that then updated the channel file and bricked the system. What they say of how to prevent it from happening again, they're obviously saying they're going to do more software testing, blah, 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 blah. Like, of course, they're going to say that they're going to do more software testing. One thing I will say reading through this is they've held their hands up and said, this was our fault. Now, in fairness, you might say, well, of course it was their fault. That's what are you going to do? But I guarantee you, if Microsoft had an issue of this scale, their release would be tough. If you don't like it, write your own operating system. Okay, there's a lot of companies that would wave this off and blame anything else and be like, oh, well, you should have done blah, 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 or you shouldn't have had this on X server or whatever. They have held their hands up and said, yeah, we fucked up. We're going to do better. They have improved, or they said that they've improved their content testing, and they've I think they disabled some of the updates temporarily until they get that process down. Yeah, and here they're saying that they're implementing a staggered deployment strategy to the rapid response. Makes sense, so that if suddenly laptops are BSOD, they can stop and pull it back. So it does look like, yeah, they've made a mistake. They've understood that. They've identified where it is. I mean, the key takeaway here, I think, is that it wasn't a hack, which was obviously something people worried about, that they were compromised. Because if someone gets access to the EDR, then you're humped really. That's it. That's what happened. Now, if there's any more updates to this, I will do more videos on it. So let me know if you want to see that. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I have a video coming out hopefully soon talking about the regression vulnerability again. So the SSH vulnerability that I did a video on, it's still running in the background. So if you want to see that, make sure to hit the bell and do all that stuff. So yeah, see you later.